So it's about that time for another round of dev servers. That's right, the brand new update is probably around the corner. I would say about another 2-ish weeks until it releases. As is Gaijin's norm, they like to release the teaser, the dev server, another week of content, and then they'll drop a second dev server, sometimes a third, and then they'll drop the update. So give about maybe 2-ish weeks until we see all of this drop. But there are a ton of brand new things to expect in War Thunder, and I will be doing my best to showcase everything, although please keep in mind I will be, and I know myself, I will be missing some things, to which I do apologize in advance. And remember, this is the dev server, so everything I'm going to be saying, everything you'll be seeing, please take it with a gigantic grain of salt, because again, much is going to change by the time we get into the actual launch of the update. But first things first, I want to go ahead and cover today's sponsor. Let's roll that. Thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video. If you're wanting to have the true console level gaming experience on your phone, then Raid is most certainly for you. Unlock and gather millions of champion combinations with countless variations used to master your tactics and abilities, so you can win against the dozens of raid bosses, dungeons, campaign battles, and even against other players in actual PvP. For example, I personally use Ursula the Mourner, as I enjoy the Banner Lords and her ability to debuff her opponent's attack and reduce their turn meter, and she also revives her fallen teammates as a bonus. And to complement her abilities, I also use Sile of the Drakes, as she strikes a debuff against defense and also reduces their turn meter as well, so it's double the trouble. I mean, building an awesome comp using those same champions to use against other actual players in PvP is always satisfying in Raid. And if you start now, you can join in the Deliana Chase event to get the High Elves champion, Deliana. And to get her, all you have to do is play Raid for 7 straight days between now and July 20th, and you get her absolutely free. Oh, and to make things just that much better, if you want to start right now, use the link in the description or use this barcode up here, and you'll get some free champions such as Misery Cod, Tiger Soul, and Romero, along with 10 Magic EXP Brew, 10 Force EXP Brew, and 10 Spirit EXP Brew to boost your champions at the very start. Also, if you enter code MyDeliana, you get your hands on 50 EXP Brew to max her level up to 50 when you do get her. So what are you waiting for? The event is currently going on, so join today and maybe I'll see you in the PvP arena. So I'm sure by now you did notice that there is a ton of also new premiums and squadron vehicles. The first one we're taking a look at is the M1A1, excuse me, I got to change this to RB. The M1A1 AIM, a brand new squadron vehicle for the American top tier. And I say top tier because this thing is going to be fighting at top tier no matter what. Now, if you understand the whole Leopard 2 PL situation, pretty much take that and put it into this, because this Abrams has a Generation 2 thermal sight. That is right. Now, this is through and through an M1A1. It has no DU. It has the same armor as the IPM1, the M1A1, etc. But it does fire, the KEW round, which is what you would find at 9.7 for the AMBT M60. So that is very awesome. But the biggest, I guess, the weird part about this is the fact that it gets Generation 2 thermal sights. Not even the tech tree variant of it does. I can only well imagine they're going to be introducing a brand new Abrams in the near future, maybe this update, but this is kind of insulting. Also, someone just followed my Twitch. Thank you for that. I just got done with the stream, but let's go to the star of the show, the F-14. That is right. I would put in the Danger Zone music in here, but copyright is kind of a pain in the ass, especially seeing that the movie just dropped. I'm sure Warner Bros. Or whoever made that movie is looking out for the YouTubers that have this song out, so you won't be hearing it from me. But check this out. This is the one vehicle everyone has been waiting for. AIM-56s, AIM-9Ds. It has a radar that is able to pick up multiple targets, and you can launch on multiple targets. I don't know how well that works, to be honest. I tried it. It was kind of a buggy mess for the most part, but I do have a custom loadout called the 5'7" hitbox. It's, if you have seen or know Tom Cruise, you'll understand why I call this, but it's a good joke. You do get the AIM-54s. Check this out. Did I say 56s? I meant to say 54s. Excuse me. 150 kilometer launch range, 40 kilometer lock range. This is dumb, and you see it fly all the way through, and it is hilarious how well you can see this thing. But oh man, the servers are going to be filled with this thing for absolutely sure. Also, one thing I did forget to mention is if you do plan on using golden eagles for the aim, use my 3% discount. Link is down in the description. You get my decal, 3% off. It supports me. What's not to love? Okay, I might be throwing that out every once in a while in the video, so bear with me, guys. I got to show at some point. Just saying, okay? Not great bomb loadout, unfortunately, so it's not really going to be used, at least in my opinion, as a good ground pounding loadout. I might build myself a brand new preset right here for ground pounding with some AIM-9 Ds for the most part, but I will be using this primarily as an air superiority in ground RB as opposed to just aviation. Also, you get AIM-9 Gs and AIM-9Hs too, which is interesting. I didn't see this, to be honest. So, yeah, if you guys... Yeah, by the way, this thing on the deck, 1,450... kilometers an hour. You can translate that to knots, but man, this thing is fast, and oh boy, do I need to put a better pilot on it. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the Germans. This needs no introduction. Check this out. This is a premium Leopard 2. That's right. Holy crap, we get the camo netting we have been asking for so long, and it's coming as a premium. Do you know how disappointing that is? It really is. This is a Leopard 2A4 through and through. It's got Generation 1 thermal sights. It's got DM23 120, DM13. I don't know why you would ever want to use this anyways, but it's a 2A4. That's all it is. But it's a premium with camo netting. It's awesome. Look at that. Yeah, that's impressive. That honestly really is. I'm excited. Again, I'm going to show this out. I'm sorry if this annoys you. If you want to buy this, if you plan on buying it, understand it is a 2A4. Use my discount code, 3% off. What's not to love? Come on. It benefits you. It benefits me. I see that 3%. You get my in-game decal. There you go. I'm going to show that out a little bit, okay? Bear with me, all right? So there it is. Nothing super special aside from the fact that it looks absolutely menacing. You can add extra bush on this to make it even more campy, I guess. But there is that. But let's take a look at the naval asset. Not exactly my area of expertise, so kind of take this with a grain of salt. You get another bigger battleship. It's big. It's a battleship. It's got good armor for the most part. It's not really modeled quite yet. As you can see, a bunch of coal bunkers, etc. I don't really know how well it plays because I don't really play naval that much, but there it is. Really big guns, lots of good firepower, SAP-Cs, and a really, really good APCB, or an APC, I guess. But I guess kind of take that as you will. So, and I think that's it. Yeah, that is it for the Germans. Okay, cool. Not too much this time around, huh? Let's go ahead and take a look at the Russians. Not a whole lot to report with the Russians this time around. I may be missing a couple of things here, so bear with me. This is basically the brand new Su-17 M4. It does get R60 standards, no R60M or MKs. You do get KH-29L rockets, 25 MLs. You get the S-25Ls. I think I already said that. I did not. It gets a lot of new stuff, right? And it also gets the S-13OF rockets, which is the same ones you'll find on the helicopters at 11.3, 11.0, etc., with the Mi-28, Ka-52, etc. So I guess kind of take this as you will for the most part. You can create your own custom loadout, which is very nice, but man, that's a lot of stuff to research. I'm not exactly a huge fan of the Su-17s anyway. I'm more of a MiG-27K guy at top tier, but at 11.0, this might benefit you just a little bit more. Who knows for the most part? But let's go and take a look at the new ground forces, at least BTR-ZD. Have you guys ever played Squad? Yeah, this is pretty much in Squad. I think with the militia or something. I forget which faction it's for the most part. But this is great. Yeah, you have completely exposed crew, right? And you do get, of course, a 23mm gun for the most part. It's just another meme machine, right? 4.3 high rate of fire, decent mobility, 61 kilometers an hour, no armor for the most part. Besides, if you get shot up here with exposed crew, you're kind of boned anyways for the most part. But for what you would get, I guess it's okay. 51mm base pen on the 23mm for your upgraded shell. Stock one also gets it too, but it's just a mix of API and HEF, or high explosive fragmentation, etc. So not anything really too exciting. It's nice to kind of have a little bit more of a, okay, this is an RB. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. It is kind of like a filler for the most part between 3.7 and 7.0 because this is a very, very large jump. So it's nice to see something a little bit different. I am kind of hoping Gaijin will introduce something in between 7.7 and 10.7, maybe a Strela, a Buck M1, maybe something new for them, because we do have a lot of just fire and forget launcher SAM systems like the Stingers, Mistrals, etc. So it would be nice to see something for them very soon. And last and probably least, I'm sorry, at least for this channel, you do get a new boat. That's right, a brand new boat. It's a big boat. It's a battleship. Sorry, I gotta say it like that. But there's that for you. Here's the stats on it if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, that's good firepower. Holy crap. And you do get anti-air as well. So I don't know. Russia seems to be getting all the really cool naval stuff for the most part. And yeah, that's it for the Russians. I may have missed something, but we'll find that out later. Let's go ahead and take a look at the British. And oh boy, do they have something very interesting. And here it is, a premium high-tier vehicle for the British, the Challenger OC, the overclock, the AOC, the advanced overclock. I don't know. I'm joking, by the way. I know that's not the name of it. I get it. I'm just saying that for the shits and giggles, okay? So initially when I first saw this, I thought AOC, I immediately think of, you know, our political figurehead, you know, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, etc. But that's a joke for a different time. But you do get a brand new premium Challenger at 9.7. I do want to go ahead and say that this is probably going to be the age of the high tier premiums. If you guys have been having a hard time with the 96As, the terms, etc., or the 96 AP, I think it is, now we have more of them. Yeah, that's it's kind of a rough spot, even though the new 2A4 is at 10.0, the brand new high tier, top tier premium vehicle. So that's going to be really interesting. But this is no different than your ordinary Challenger 1. It has the L23A1, which is a good shell, Generation 1 thermal sights, and there's really nothing special about this aside from having some aesthetic appeal to it and maybe some historical references to it. I really love the OC decals on it. It just looks menacing as hell. Not really something I'm going to get. I will be doing an overview of this by itself a little bit later on, but take this as you absolutely will. The Black Knight is a worthwhile vehicle in my opinion, so maybe it's nice to get a Challenger Premium to go with it. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the G6. That's right, a brand new artillery piece. This thing... wheeled vehicles, man, they suck in War Thunder, I'll tell you that right now. But this thing is not that terrible, right? 93 kilometers an hour. It's pretty nuts, and you do get a pretty good reload rate, 17.2 seconds. I think you can increase that. I don't remember if you can or cannot. I think it says up here, it is non-autoloader, so I guess you can increase that. If we go over to crew members, you'll see, yeah, 14.9 seconds top reload. Excuse me for putting arcade here. Did I show that earlier? I think I may have for the most part, but this thing is nuts, right? Because look at this, plus 75 degrees of vertical guidance, and you also get a proxy round. I don't know if it works against aircraft. I tried using it against tanks. It didn't work out very well, but I'll let the professionals play with this thing and use it however they want. But again, you do get a very solid fragmentation round, 11.14 kilograms of TNT equivalent, 8.7 kilograms of explosive mass. This thing... overpressure is a pain in the royal ass, so this thing is going to be very fun, but keep in mind, you have no armor. Everything will look at you and kill you, and trust me, your ammunition, it may look like it's stowed away in some composite armor or something, but this is not going to save you. I'll tell you that right now. They shoot you in the ammo, you're dead. Simple as that. So, that's really it. I would show you the hood, but in truth, I know this is a very, very popular vessel. I know it was sunk, I believe, by the Bismarck, but it's nice to have it in the game for the most part. So to those who enjoy naval, by all means, enjoy it, guys. Also, here is the ML 1383, I guess. There you go. Cool. Enjoy it. Anyways, let's go over to... unfortunately, not the Japanese, because they got nothing new. I'm sorry to say, we're going over to the Chinese. I am very pleased to report that the 99A is finally in the game, although it's, excuse me, not arcade setting here. It's not that great. It's not what you would expect. This is not done. It's not done at all. The armor is not complete. I'll tell you that now, so I can't really talk much about this. It is supposed to basically be the 99.3, I was going to say 96, excuse me, the 99.3, just with a bit better protection. It's supposed to have, I think, better mobility, but it really doesn't for the most part. No APS, very good sight for the most part, 6 to 11 times. Still the same targeting speed, 5.1 degrees a second, which isn't absolutely terrible, but it's still pretty bad for the most part. Targeting speed, 26 degrees a second, which is very nice. You get no APS, you get FY4 all over the place, and no new upper front plate, etc. There's really nothing new about this. It is a 99.3, just with much more armor. The reverse rate is the same. You still get the DTW 125, which is a very good APFSDS at top tier, but it really doesn't bring anything new. You get a commander sight, thermal sight. You get Generation 2 thermal sights for the gunner as well. Laser warning system. There really isn't anything special about this, not even custom camos, which is unfortunate. But I will be looking forward to Liechtenstein when he makes these custom camos. Oh, yes. But that's it. That's all the Chinese get is the 99. I'm excited for it. I will be getting this. I will be making a video on it because, man, this thing looks aggressive. It looks mean. I really enjoy the way it looks. But how will it play? That's a completely different story, one of which we will discuss either in the second dev server video or when the game launches, or excuse me, when the patch launches. So let's go over to the Italians, and this is gonna be funny. You'll like this. The Italians get a couple of new things, not too many, but enough to really make it just a little bit more worthwhile. Now, if you get annoyed by the DARDO, and you know how that thing plays, imagine putting this on wheels going 110 kilometers an hour. That's right, a DARDO with Generation 1 thermal sights on a stabilized gun platform going 110 kilometers an hour. This is so dumb. This is gonna be great. At 8.7, at least they didn't put this thing down to like 8.0, because Gaijin has a terrible habit of doing that. I don't agree with it, but man, this is funny. But speaking of funny, this is gonna be good. Take a look at this 1.7 monstrosity. Yeah, it's a freaking naval gun almost. What is this? It looks like a 1700s ship naval gun. And look at this. Look at the crew. Just, what? Why? Dude, they have no eardrums at this point. Oh, and by the way, this thing will rock your vehicle. You can possibly even flip yourself, and it's actually hilarious. You have to play this thing to really see how weird it is, okay? Put some GE or some silver lines, quickly unlock this thing, and the crew, for some reason, kind of slides with this thing. It's pretty funny for the most part. You do get two types of rounds. You get the 100mm anti-concrete shell, and you get HESH, but here's the problem. In the dev server, at least, you don't get any shells. Look at this. You have two shells, right? But you only have two shells here. So that means you play this thing stock with no firepower, but the machine guns up front. What the hell are you going to do with the machine guns? Yeah, I saw this and I laughed really hard. So it was pretty funny. I'm sure the HE round is going to be in here, but they haven't modeled it in this vehicle quite yet. So keep that in mind. This thing, my God, I'm taking this to top tier. This will be funny. Only on the streams, guys. Link, description, check it out. But they do get one more thing. Premium vessel, I think it is. I mean, it's just another destroyer. Cool. Armor, yeah, cool. Take that as you will. My naval players, enjoy this, guys. You got a brand new, I think it's premium. Is it premium? Yeah, it's a premium. There's that. Cool. Anyways, no new aircraft, unfortunately, at least not yet. So let's go and take a look at the Frenchies. And for the French, we only get two things. The Mephisto, I can't quite pronounce that. Basically, battle rating 8.3. You get Generation 1 thermal sights. I believe it was Gen 1. I totally forget. I'm sorry, guys. And you do get the hot missiles. Now, these, they're not the worst, but at 8.7 or 8.3, excuse me, these will do very well for the most part. You won't be facing anything really with an APS. You won't probably face maybe even the whatchamacallit, the Puma as much. And yes, the IRCMs will jam this missile for the most part, but you do get a vehicle that goes 100, I think. No, excuse me, 90 kilometers an hour. You get 4 missiles back here. You get a crap ton in the back right here. Here's Gaston, who would just load it in probably manually, but this is an automatic loader. It does kind of reload like you would find with the roll-in system. So this thing needs to go back to the center, drop down into the chassis, load it, come back up. It takes about 15 seconds from the time it starts to when you're ready to fire one more time. But keep in mind, this thing has no armor. 8mm, 4mm, yeah, just 8mm everywhere. 50 cal finds you, will kill you. Minus 10 degrees of gun depression, I think plus 10 as well. So this thing will kind of be a hill camper for the most part, but keep that in mind when you are using this vehicle, and know that wheeled vehicles in War Thunder are kind of very unusually bad on certain terrain, which makes a lot of sense. Now, here's the aircraft, a premium Milan. It's not complete. As you can see, there are slots here for Nord missiles and a couple of other things, but as you can see right here, they are not modeled in the game for the most part. You do get AIM-9Bs. It's 9.7 Mirage. Or is it Mirage? Or I forget. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very bad with this kind of stuff, okay? You get a brand new jet fighter for the French high tier. I don't really know what to really say more about this for the most part. If you guys want to go ahead and purchase this, use my 3%. That's all I got to say about it. Use my 3%. Some of you guys have been using it already. I don't really know what to say more about this. So that's really it when it comes to the French. Let's go ahead and head over to the Swedish, which they don't get anything new, but they do get new features. Okay, they do get one more thing, or one new thing, and I did forget to mention that. We'll show that in a quick second. Here is the 122B PLSS. Nothing really new about this, right? Or nothing really fancy. You guys know this vehicle, DM33, but if you didn't already notice, it does get a brand new little feature right down here. If I double click this, you'll see it gets the mine protection. That's right. Now, Gaijin did say in their Q&A, I believe, that they were going to look into introducing vehicles that were able to drop mines on the battlefield. I would personally like to see random mines all over the battlefield. It would change up the dynamic. It would kind of make those who like to flank and spank wheel vehicles kind of think twice about making those approaches, because they don't know if there's mines randomly tossed all over the battlefield. Maybe there'll be different sizes, different calibers. I have no idea if that makes sense. Which means that maybe it'll track you, maybe it'll damage your track, maybe it might outright kill you if you are the wrong vehicle. But this vehicle will have the protection necessary. You do only have 37 rounds, which is, I think, the natural on this thing. It does make the vehicle a little bit heavier, but you get about 30 millimeters of extra protection in the lower glacis. That may not seem like much, but it is angled, which means that light vehicles such as BMPs, Stritz 4 9040Cs, if you're in a mixed battle, they're going to have a little bit more of a difficult time going through your lower plate for the most part. But in truth, this might be a one-off thing to where maybe you want to put it on, maybe you don't want to put it on, maybe you want to get rid of it, because this does and will make your vehicle move a little bit slower. It even says it, wrong vehicle. It even says it right there, as you can see. So take that as you will. Personally, I might not run it, but we'll definitely see. But let's take a look at the 2.7 really big forehead of a tank. And trust me, I can appreciate this because I too have a big forehead. But that's it. 2.7, not so much. You don't get APDS, which is kind of unusual for a Swedish vehicle at around this BR. But take this as you absolutely will. Non-stabilized. There you go. This thing, have fun. The reload rate, 5.1 seconds. Can it be better? I'm curious now, actually. Take a look at my crew. Can it be made better? 4-second ace crew reload. Not bad. All right, cool. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the last nation, Israel. So this is the only thing the Israelis are going to be getting, at least for this patch, for this dev server, the Merkava Mark III B. At 10.0, this is the Mark III-D, essentially, with a little less armor. It does fire M322 APFSDS. You get Generation 1 thermal sights. Now, if you understand how the Mark III-D plays, this thing plays in the exact same fashion. It just has a 120 for the most part. You don't really have anything super special, right? 6 to 12 times gunner optics. I think you have a 20 times sight, 4 to 20 for the commander, which is pretty damn good. Commander can operate the weapon for the most part. So, yeah, Israel finally gets a good in-between vehicle between the Merkava Mark II-B and the Mark IV, because previously, you were only allowed to play from 9.0 to 11.0. That's a huge gap. Now, the one thing I'm looking forward to is brand new SPA. I hope Gaijin gives us something, because the mock bet, it sucks. I do not like this vehicle, not one damn bit. So take that as you will to my Israeli tankers. Trust me, Israel is a fantastic nation. The Mark IV-B, the Mark IV-B and the M are absolutely brilliant vehicles, to which I say you should look into for sure. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and do the conclusion. So there you have it. That is all the new additions, at least ones that I was able to find. I may have missed a couple. Also, in Sweden and Israel, I was showing the arcade versions of the vehicles. Keep in mind that the stats on them are pretty much the same when it comes to the armor plate and just how the vehicle battle rating, etc. They're the exact same thing, which is very nice. So I do apologize on that front. But with all that being said, that is it when it comes to the brand new dev server. Again, please take everything with a grain of salt. This is the first dev server. There will be some changes in it throughout the entirety of the weekend that this is out. And also, please do your part as a player, as a consumer, as a person who loves the game maybe as much as I do, if not more. Report those bugs. Go into the game, find the bugs, report them. Get this to be amazing. Also, audio update. A lot of vehicles sound absolutely brilliant. I will show you them in individual videos once we play all those new vehicles. And if you want to see me do some day one content, I will be live streaming the day one stuff when it does release. So definitely check that out. I will be showcasing, I would say, about 80% of all the new stuff. There's a lot of things I won't be asking for because I'd rather would grind something at least. So bear with me on that front. But I will tell you for sure, the F14 is going to be my first pick. Now, I won't be making an overview video of this. I might take it out on occasion during the streams, but a dedicated video, I would rather leave this to the professionals. Spitfire, Adam the Engineer, Copsy, Ash007. You guys know who he is. He's an amazing creator. Give him some love, guys, all right? So with all that being said, again, I hope you guys did enjoy everything. Let me know, what do you think about the update? Is this needed? Is this new? Are there some things that Gaijin needs to introduce? I have no idea. Feel free to let me know down in the comment section below as per usual. Let me know which vehicles you'd like to see first when the update actually drops. So yeah, that's it. Oh man, I don't know how some people can do this kind of stuff where they talk for hours on end. I just can't do it. I'm already winded. But again, thank you so much. I'll see you not only in the next video or even the streams, but in War Thunder itself and maybe even in the dev server. Until next time.